What would have happened if the Roman Empire had never fallen? What if one of history's greatest empires, the Roman Empire, had never collapsed? Imagine a world where the Caesars still ruled, where Rome's power stretched from Europe to the Middle East, and Roman legions marched through the lands protecting its vast borders. But what would that mean for us today? And more importantly, what kind of world would we be living in? Let's take a quick look back. The Roman Empire, at its height, was a marvel of engineering, culture, and military might. From the green hills of Britain to the deserts of Egypt, Roman roads, laws, and innovations were everywhere. They created aqueducts that delivered fresh water, sprawling cities, and a legal system that influenced nations for centuries. However, in 476 AD, it all came to an abrupt end. A mix of invading tribes, internal corruption, and a crumbling economy brought the Western Roman Empire to its knees, leading to the Dark Ages. But what if it hadn't happened? What if the Romans had found a way to adapt, overcome their challenges, and survive? Imagine a Roman Empire that learned from its mistakes. Maybe they adapted their military to defend against new threats, developed better governance to avoid corruption, and made smarter economic choices to keep their empire stable. Let's picture a world where Rome continued to grow and thrive. What would this alternate timeline look like? For starters, the Roman Empire would likely be a global powerhouse of technological advancement. The Romans were already known for their engineering skills, building massive aqueducts, paved roads, and impressive cities. But if the empire had survived, we might have seen technological breakthroughs centuries ahead of their time. What if the Industrial Revolution had come hundreds of years earlier? Imagine ancient Rome with steam engines, complex machinery, or even an early form of electricity, shaping a society with advanced transportation and architecture far beyond its time. And with this technological might, Rome might not have stopped at its historical boundaries. In this alternate reality, they could have crossed the Atlantic, discovering the Americas long before Columbus. Imagine Roman legions marching through the jungles of Central America or trading with the indigenous civilizations. Would we see an entirely different fusion of Roman, Mayan, or Aztec influences in art, language, and architecture? How would this ancient encounter shape the world as we know it? One of the biggest influences of the Roman Empire was its role in spreading Christianity across Europe. But what if the empire had allowed a more diverse range of beliefs, embracing a blend of religions instead of imposing one? Paganism, along with Christianity and perhaps even Eastern philosophies, could have coexisted under a single vast empire. Imagine a spiritual world shaped by an empire that respected a mosaic of beliefs, Roman temples standing beside Christian churches, and sacred places honoring various gods and philosophies. How would that have changed the way we understand religion today? Then, there's the question of trade. The Roman Empire was already a commercial powerhouse, trading with Asia, Africa, and even the far reaches of Europe. If the empire had survived and expanded, we could be looking at an early form of globalization, with trade routes stretching from the Americas to Asia. The Silk Road, which connected East and West, would have been controlled by Rome, and Roman coins would likely be the world's currency. Imagine Roman marketplaces filled with goods from around the globe, silks from China, spices from India, and goods from the Americas. This could have created a world where wealth was concentrated in the empire, fueling its growth and cementing its influence worldwide. But such a vast empire would need a strong military to maintain order. The Roman legions were some of the most disciplined forces in history, and their survival would likely have meant an iron grip on world power. But would this mean a world dominated by a single superpower, where no other nations or empires could rise to compete? Imagine a world where Europe, the Middle East, and beyond are all Roman provinces, each ruled by the policies and preferences of Rome. It's an idea that raises questions about freedom, identity, and the potential for other cultures to thrive under Roman rule. However, absolute power often comes at a cost. A massive empire like Rome's would have had to deal with constant rebellions, dissent, and cultural clashes. As Rome's borders expanded, it would have absorbed many different people and traditions, leading to tension between its leaders and its subjects. Perhaps Rome's dominance would have led to heavy taxation, suppression of local customs, and a rigid hierarchy where some cultures felt marginalized. Could the Roman Empire have handled these pressures, or would it have faced new crises even without falling? With the Roman Empire still around, our languages, legal systems, and values would look quite different. Latin might be the global language, or at least a dominant one, spoken across continents. Our government systems might be modeled after Roman law, with principles like innocent until proven guilty and a focus on civic responsibility. Imagine living in a world where every part of daily life is steeped in Roman influence, from the way cities are planned to the architecture of public buildings and even the foods we eat. What other cultural norms might have been different? But while the Roman Empire's fall led to chaos, it also sparked the birth of new nations, ideas, and innovations. If Rome had remained a central power, would the creative outbursts of the Renaissance or the groundbreaking ideas of the Enlightenment have emerged? Perhaps a world without the Roman Empire's collapse would be one where progress is slower and art, science, and philosophy remain under strict control. So, would a world where Rome never fell be a better one, or a world with its own unique challenges? Would we find ourselves living in a highly advanced society, but one under the firm hand of Roman authority, where creativity, individuality, and cultural diversity take a back seat to the empire's stability? Or would a strong, stable Rome have fostered more innovation and peace, creating a world more unified than we can imagine? Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through history. If you love exploring these what-if scenarios, make sure to like and subscribe for more alternate history videos. And tell us in the comments, how do you think the world would look if the Roman Empire had survived? Let's keep the conversation going.